With us now, Major Garrett, White House correspondent for National Journal. Welcome.
Good morning.
Tell me what Mitt Romney has to do now, after a bruising primary battle, to reset himself and his campaign for a general election.
Well, look, what Romney's going to spend the next 60 to 90 days doing, what's he doing in New York today? Raising money. He's going to spend a lot of time raising money. He now has to take over the RNC, the Republican National Committee, put his people in there and begin the process of organizing a national campaign. Remember, when Romney would go through the primary states, he would take his campaign and move it to the next place, leave nothing behind. Unlike President Obama in 2008, he would leave his people behind and build an infrastructure out from there. Romney doesn't have that luxury, so he now has to go in the swing states and build an infrastructure for a national campaign. Got to think about a vice presidential nominee and create a message that says, look, Obama can say whatever he wants about me. He's been the president for 3.5 years. That's his record, and he's going to have to defend it if he wants to be reelected.
So he has to make Obama the issue.
Absolutely.
Who is the likely vice presidential nominee? How much narrowing down have they done?
Well, I think they've done a little bit of narrowing down. Now, look, I'm as far out on a limb as anyone, well, writing in Washington can be. I've said 2.5 weeks ago that he's going to pick Rob Portman. I don't know that to be a fact, but everything I know about Rob Portman, everything I know about Mitt Romney and his way he makes decisions tells me it's going to be Rob Portman, because it emphasizes the central message of the campaign. Rob Portman is an expert on taxes and budget. He's not exciting, but he's well vetted, meaning there'll be no surprise stories if you pick a guy like Rob Portman. And I think the essence of Mitt Romney's message is, I'm an acceptable, credible alternative, and Rob Portman fills that bill.
But do you need some excitement? You mentioned he's not an exciting VP.
I said in my column it would be squares squared.
Right, but there's also talk that Mitt Romney does, and not that you don't want somebody who's going to have surprises, but that he needs a little something to get the energy going, especially as we see the president's approval rating now up in some polls at 50%, which is a rise.
The president is in very good position. He's good position national, and he's good state by state in all the crucial swing states. The president is the odds-on favorite. A non-challenged incumbent president running for re-election usually wins, unless there's a terrible economy. Is this economy terrible or not? I don't think it's terrible. Most Americans don't think it's terrible, but they're not satisfied. And it's going to be that question. What is your level of satisfaction and belief in the future? And Mitt Romney is going to try to crystallize that message. But you can't graft charisma onto a non-charismatic frontrunner or party nominee. And the party nominee is either going to rise or fall on their agenda, not their charisma if they don't have it. And if you try to incorporate it from someone else, you're only highlighting, in my opinion, the fact that you don't have it.
Is Mitt Romney a better candidate today? Is he somehow, after all of this, able to overcome some of the reservations about him, both in terms of message and in terms of how he conducts himself?
Mitt Romney is a weak frontrunner. He had a difficult primary process. He comes out underwater. His approval rating is lower than it was when it started. He has a higher negative than he had when he started, and yet he's still in this race. And he's getting better as a candidate. And as I've watched Governor Romney throughout his career, success breeds success. He's that kind of guy. When you reach metrics and reach levels of success, you feel better about yourself, your confidence builds. I think you'll see him become a better candidate. Good enough? That'll be for the voters to decide.
So it depends on who defines what about the way this race is conducted.
That's right. And I think there's a central question the Obama campaign has to argue about what they're going to say about Mitt Romney. Because right now they say two things right next to each other. He has no core, and he's an inveterate flip-flopper. And he's a right-wing ideologue. Can you honestly be both of those things at the same time? I think that's a relevant question the Obama campaign needs to answer as they try to define who Mitt Romney is and what from their point of view, the campaign is about.
Thanks, Major.
My pleasure.